One of those moments that I wish that I could see, that just as a photographer, it never really happens, is that moment at which a bride discovers the dress that she's going to wear. You know, and so here with me today is Janet, who's the owner at Angela's Bridal. Thank you very much for coming up to Saratoga.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, trying to decide what you're going to do for your bridesmaids and the bridesmaids' dresses, that seems like that might be a little bit more work.
Yes, it can be. I mean, you have so many other people involved in that deciding process.
What advice would you give to those brides that are in the planning process right now of what should they do when it comes to finding that perfect dress for the bridal party?
Well, first of all, keep in mind that there are 3 components to bridal gown. So there's the style, the silhouette, the color, and the fabric.
Oh, okay.
So it's really important that, you know, a lot of times in trend right now, people would like to have either various styles or they want to add an accent color into their bridesmaids. If you decide to add an accent color, I think most professionals would recommend that you want to try within the same styles.
Yes.
So, and if you want to try different styles to keep everything the same color and same fabric, so therefore stay with the same designer.
So that makes sense. That makes total sense. You could actually have somebody choose a color, but then if you go with a totally different designer, the colors could totally clash.
Yes, they could look. I mean, even with a black, you know, just the way that light sheens on different materials, it can make a difference. So you do want to try to stay within that same grouping and only change one element of those 3.
Okay, so you have the color, the fabric, and the design.
And the style, that's right. Yeah.
And the style. Okay, so they could keep the color and the fabric the same, but change the design.
That's correct.
That's great. That's really good advice. I would never have known that.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and when they're looking at different body types too, sometimes people would like to go with either something with a strap or something strapless, and just if you're going with different styles, to try to find a balance. If don't just have one person is strapless or one person with straps.
So do you give, as they're going through this process, does your crew kind of help steer them in the right direction?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
They do. They do.
It's
and
important.
you know, at the end of the day, you know, the bride is ultimately going to know what it is that she's looking for, and you know, the bridesmaids will have some input into it, and our consultants will help guide them as well. And it is a collaborative decision, though, at the end of the day.
I know, looking at photos from the 80s, and you see what the bridesmaids are wearing, and the thought that goes through my head is, that was a good idea at the time? Really? So I can understand how today, you know, going to a bridal salon where you're able to see all these different gowns, and being able to go to some place like Angela's to be able to see all these different options, but also to be able to get the advice specifically from those consultants.
Yes.
Whether it's specifically as Angela's or any of the great places that are in the area.
Exactly.
Listen to those consultants, and if you tell them your idea, and they give you a look and say, well, that is an idea. Just be open-minded to the fact that the professionals do know what advice that they can give.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So for those brides out there that do want to come and meet you and your consultants at Angela's, how can they find you?
Well, they can find us on the internet, angelasbridal.net. We're in Albany, 126 State Street.
State Street, that's like Wedding Avenue is quickly becoming.
Yes, exactly.
Well, excellent. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up to Saratoga.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So that's it for this week. Check back soon for some more great tips. I'm already screwing up. I'm doing the intro.
That makes me feel better. I feel so much better now. You're always so good at this. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's because Andrew's a good editor.
Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you, Andrew.
Yay. So that's exciting, you know, like that moment at which a bread finds the bride.
The butter.
The bread gets buttered, and the jam. I feel like that, from a bride's perspective, because I have a lot of experience as a bride myself. That was weird. Why did I go there?
What?
No, I'm blushing. I'm a blushing bride.
It was that moment when I helped you to find the perfect hat.
Hi, you gonna block the shot again? Yep. No, okay, we're done.